Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
I'm Laura. Welcome to the Pattern Queens episode 169. Today is Sunday, Groundhog's Day, February 2nd, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and rambles and lots of shenanigans and us trying to plan what we're gonna do for this first monthly stat recap, but the planning didn't really happen. So welcome to the ride.
So it will definitely be fun to do this.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Welcome to our video. If you're new, we hope you like what you find here and that you come back and join us again. If you are returning, you know we love to hear from you, and we enjoy hearing what you like about the videos and what else you'd like to see.
Yes, yes, for sure.
So, Keisha, what's new with you?
Uh, there's not a whole lot new with me. We had a really fun family outing yesterday where we went to lunch and the baby stayed in the high chair the entire time, happily eating French fries. It was a first for us. So, um, but yeah, it's just been kind of a nice week. So, how about you?
Mine's been kind of like that too. We've still been in testing at school, and so that gets draining, but it's okay. It's okay. We're getting through it. The kids are cracking me up. My favorite story from the week. There was a kindergartner in, and the teacher that I work with, Amy, is the one who works with the kindergartners for this testing. And she said to a kindergartner, "Which of these would you wear if it's raining outside?" And the little girl sat there for a minute and she said, "Well, this one, but I wouldn't wear that. I would look like a big banana. I would paint it pink."
Perfect.
So, and I had a fourth grader in there at that point, a fourth grade boy. He was totally enjoying the kindergartners coming in, and
Mhm.
it was just fun to interact with him. He's really mature, so we have great conversation with him, but it was
Mhm.
just hysterical. Oh, that one, but I wouldn't wear it.
It's for someone else.
So yes, that's what it's been like. And we did a book club yesterday. So
Yeah.
Keisha came over and hung out with us too and stitched for a
Mhm.
while. And we had a
Yeah.
good time with that.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, and what is our book for next time?
Our book for next time is okay, hold just a
Katie
minute.
just told me it's Heartless Hunter.
Okay, see, I'm a terrible host. And that's going to be on the first Saturday in April, which is April 5th, which is Owen's first birthday.
And it'll be from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Time
Yes.
on the Black Needle Society Facebook group. So if
Oh,
you're,
and
no,
the
no,
black
sorry, on the
books with
Books with
BNS.
BNS Facebook group. So if you're interested in that, join the group
Yes.
and come and sit and discuss with us and stitch and have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. It's good.
There was that was like the unexpected little thing to throw
There we
in,
go.
right?
Plug.
Okay. Did you decide that you don't really have stash to show?
Yeah, I bought some finishing supplies and I bought some DMC for a pattern that I'm going to work on this month, but it's not really that exciting.
I don't think I showed these. I got some silks from Silks for You for my club.
Mhm.
Gosh,
Ooh, look at how autumnal.
is that just gorgeous? So two of these, this one is really hard to see, and I don't know if maybe you can see it better. And fancy showing thing, right? It's the envelope. It is an
Ooh,
over dye, so it has all of that beautiful color in there.
yes.
And the other one I think you probably saw better because it had
Yeah, a
the
little
brighter
brighter.
colors in it.
Hmm.
But they always do such a lovely job um, with choosing the floss that comes in for the floss of the month.
Hmm.
We just got a note from them that their December shipment for the Floss of the Month Club got sent back to Australia because Australia Post got the label wet and US Customs wouldn't accept it.
No.
which, that's one of those things that just kind of makes me shake my head and be like, really,
Right.
guys, come on,
Right.
just send us our stuff. And I feel bad for the shop because they will just get all of the, well, why don't I have my stuff?
Right.
So
Right.
please be patient with these people and
Yeah.
know that they're doing their best and that we will all get our stuff. It'll just be later than
Yes.
what we thought it would be.
Yeah. There's just been so much going on. The postal service is kind of overtaxed right now anyway, I feel
Yes.
like. So
So let's all have some grace and patience.
even though it's
I
really hard.
I also got some fabric from Bestitch Me. I got
Mm.
sugar cream pie. I'm not pulling these out, but oh my gosh, it's just a great neutral. I got blush, which, it's February. I feel like I need
Right. You want
some
all the
fabric.
pinks.
This one, toe
The
beans,
pinks. So cute.
and it is a beautiful pink. So I
Mhm.
love that. And then I have been on a pattern kick. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's because I've been watching Flosstube. I'm blaming the Flosstubers.
There you go.
So one person that I watched showed this house on Pumpkin Hill Pin Keep from Stacy Nash Designs.
Ooh, that's very pretty.
It's cool, right? And
Yeah.
it's 67 by 100. So it's not huge.
Right.
They also showed Plum Street Samplers Good Company.
Oh, I love that.
That little fox is great. 87 by 72. I saw this and had to get it because of our friend. This
Mhm.
is Jennifer and Laura
Oh,
from
there you go.
By the Bay Needle Art. So the tall one is Jennifer, and the short, squat one is Laura. And these are so fun. They're just, I don't see quickly. The stitch count is 42 by 70, which is
Oh, yeah.
weird because they're both very different.
Hmm.
I don't think they're really the same size. But anyway, then the next one I got is from Bent Creek and it's Shamrock Row.
Ooh, fun.
It calls for a whole bunch of overdyed flosses, and I think really what I'm going to do is during this month, I'm going through a bunch of my supplies, and I'm going to see if I can just find some greens that I would like to do this with. And
Yeah.
I like it's a really, really dark green. I don't
Ooh.
even think there's anything. Maybe I'll do that crown in a metallic of some kind
It'd be kind of fun to do the word
and
luck.
luck.
And yeah,
That would be fun. And see the crazy little leopard.
I love him.
He's the X. Do you get that?
Yes. So fun.
And then this one. Every year I like to get the collector's heart from Heart in Hand. So I have this year's. There we go.
Ooh, that's a good one. I
It's
like that.
really good. And the chart pack comes with the fabric and embellishments. So there must be little buttons. There usually are somewhere. I can't see them. And then you separately pick up your floss. So this is ready to go. I was looking for this last night and couldn't find it. So I started something else instead. But I think I'm going to start this probably today.
Oh, okay.
So there's a plan for you. Because I'd like to get it done this month.
Yeah,
And we'll
sure.
talk more about that as we go along here, but it
Mhm.
kind of all works together. So now we're ready.
Now we're ready. Are you guys ready to see everything? Well, most of the things that we worked on in January.
Oh, that's what I did not write. Number of projects I worked on.
All
See,
right.
I thought of one more
One more
thing to put in here.
thing. So
Oh, no, I did.
I have my tablet. So if I'm looking down a lot, it's because I have all my stats on here.
And I have mine in my planner, and I'm over here just kind of working on it. So we'll get better as we go along. If we don't name a stat that you would like to hear, please put it down in the comments below, and
Hmm.
um, we will try and add it in next month
Yeah, for sure.
because this is a new thing for us to try and do, and we just thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
Um, can I do one first and then we'll just get it out
Oh,
of the way?
do you want to say the total number, or are we gonna make them wait to know the total number of things that we worked on?
Oh, we can say the total number.
Okay.
How many did you work on?
I worked on, sorry, my legs are starting to kind of cramp up here. I worked on 10 things. One of them was a model.
I worked on, this is an inflated number, 29 projects, and one of them is a model. It's 29 because Katie and I do 25 starts for 2025 or 25
Mhm.
projects for 2025.
Right.
And I did part of them on New Year's Eve and part of them on New Year's Day. So there's
Gotcha.
a whole bunch that I'm not going to show today that
Right.
I only worked on like we even carried it into like the first, second, third of the month,
Hmm.
just because we decided to be more relaxed with it this year, and I liked
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And a few more stitches. So,
Nice.
um, kind of an interesting stat with that is that we've been doing a challenge group with our friends, and so our one of our numbers is that if we somebody has a finish, we put in 100 stitches on the project that we've chosen to represent them. And so that hit my brain on the first, and I thought, oh, I'm going to put in 100 stitches on all of these projects.
Hmm.
So all but one of them have 100, and the one that doesn't, I just finished at 64 stitches, the section I was on, and that's where I stopped on it. So,
Okay.
but everything else got at least 100, and they're all right around that. So, it could be like 110, or
Hmm.
everything is at least 100, but they're
Nice.
all, within there.
Right.
Um, I have two projects that I'm UFOing this month. And I think it's because of our challenge, because when I'm working on more than one project in a day, in a week, like close together, then I think I see the ones that I really am not enjoying. And
Hmm.
there's just no reason to keep working on them.
Right. Right.
So one of them is these are both pieces that I like. They're just things I don't like about them. My first one is Rose Quaker from Sticky Dean von der Wienberg, which
Hmm.
will make Keisha sad that I'm not going to say that again
Yeah, I
for a
know. I love
while.
hearing that.
And I printed this off because I bought this as a PDF.
Hmm.
Um, but what I don't like is I've gotten this far across the bottom and I'm just not liking the colors.
Mm.
It's they don't say roses to me. It's not just not enjoying it.
Yeah,
And I thought there is no reason for me to keep working on a project that I'm not enjoying.
of course.
So I'm not going to do it.
Right. Too many fun things to work on.
Yes. And so that one is going away for a while. And the other one that I have, I just absolutely love this pattern. Oh, my needle minders and things are stuck together. The other one that I have is I was working on Indigo Bunny,
Hmm.
and I have it on this piece. It says it's 28 count opal. This is not a 28 count. I have figured out that I started on the wrong side of the fabric, and it has just been a beast to try and get stitches in. And I'm that
Hmm.
far.
Yeah.
Um, it's a very lightly opal fabric, but I'm just not liking it. I think I'm going to try and get this set up in Pattern Keeper,
Hmm.
and that will help me, like with all these swirls
Sure.
that are in
Yeah.
here, to count them better. And I worked on both of these projects. I did find that I have some plain white
Hmm.
linen, or I have this that just says 32 count, and it's kind of a blue gray.
Ooh, that
And
would be really pretty.
that's what I was thinking, that maybe a little movement behind. And this one is really subtle. So you have three shades of blue in both of these. You have the dark, that's
Hmm.
the animal, and then they have kind of a brighter blue, like right behind it, and then a
Hmm.
third kind of medium blue. And it's
Okay.
just DMC. Both of these projects were done completely in DMC, so I don't have any worries about, hey, I'm not going to do that. So,
Right, right.
and that one, I'm just getting rid of the piece of fabric. The first one, I will go back and rip that out because
Hmm.
it's a nice piece of fabric. I just don't like the colors.
Right,
So,
right.
um, I'm going to tell you, Keisha had not started with a full whip list, so
Right.
doesn't have her number because I think you're still working on where all of them are
Yeah,
after
yeah.
they
I
got
need to do
put
the
away with
great
babies, right?
organization. Yeah, I need to do the great organization project at some point, but maybe a little bit.
I have not cleaned up my whip list totally, but I started the year with about 150 projects. I may have been at like 152 because I think I bumped over. I had um 9 or 10 starts in December. If we had been
Hmm.
keeping stats, I would have known.
Right.
But I still had kept it like right about 150. And I'll tell
Hmm.
you as we go through where things ended up.
All right.
What do you want to tell next?
Well, so I don't have a complete whip list, as Laura said. So I have decided that I'm just going to see how many have I added or subtracted from my total whip pile. Um, I ended up starting three things this month, but one of them was a model that I finished. So we'll just take that one out. That's um, and I finished a whip that I came into the year with. So basically, I've added one to my whip pile. But the two that I started are Society Stitcher, which I know will be done on July 14th because we're doing 25 stitches a day. And the other one that I started was Canoe Ride by Mill Hill, which I'm going to try to get finished by the end of this month. So I have plans to finish both of the things that I started.
Awesome. I like that you're building your whip list as you go
Hmm.
through the year.
Yeah,
So you'll get to see a couple of different things and you don't have to feel like, oh, I don't have mine all together. You can
right.
see how Keisha's doing it and get your thing set up. But
Yeah.
also Keisha's an accountant, so she has like magic. Uh-oh, there's stuff going on in the other room.
Uh-oh.
Um, um, she has magic spreadsheet going on, and I was gifted a magic spreadsheet by one of our other friends, and
Hmm.
you might see me clicking around a little because it's right behind this screen and I can see it.
Yeah.
So I had 7 new starts during the month, and one of them is a model that I'm still
Mhm.
working on. And I had 3 finishes during the month. And we'll
Nice.
show you as we come to them and talk a little more about them.
Yeah.
So, do you just want to start showing projects?
Yeah, sure.
How many things? You're showing like 10 things?
So I'll show nine things because the 10th thing I worked on I can't show.
Okay. I don't even know how many in this pile.
All right.
So, you want me to show one of mine first?
Sure. This is real
Mm,
loosey-goosey, guys.
yeah. So I'm going to show you one of my new starts, which was also a finish. This is my blessing sampler. It is Jane Marshall 1857 by Hands Across the Sea, and I finished it on the 31st.
Nice.
This had a total of 5,417 stitches. I was going to look real quick because it's easy to see. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days during the month that I didn't get to work on it.
Mhm.
Oh, look, I have it
You have
upside
it
down
upside
for you
down.
guys.
I
I'm
was
like,
looking at
wait,
it and I'm like, there's something.
why is all the pretty stuff at the top? No. Or so there it is. I love this. And the thing that amazed me that I showed Keisha is that the darkest color in here is red. And I don't
Mhm.
think it shows red at all.
No, not really.
And it's the same color in here.
Hmm.
So this was fun because it's like a combination of colors that were unexpected a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But this one had a total of 5,417 stitches. And so it accounted for 26% of my stitches for the month.
Thanks. All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to show you now, I took pictures of the starting points for everything. So Laura's going to be putting them up as I go through stuff.
You
But
have to point for me so I know when to stop.
here's where I started. So the very first thing I worked on this year was Halloween wreath by the Frosted Pumpkin. Um, and I did a total of 182 stitches on this. So I only worked on it one day. I did all of the gray that's back behind there.
Yeah, you did a lot of fill on this one.
hmm And I worked on this in the car on the way to my in-laws' house. So, and this is on a piece of 28 count pewter linen from Picture This Bliss.
Fun.
So that was just a fun random thing that I worked on. That
Okay.
wasn't anything that I had any sort of, I'll kind of go through. I have some pieces that I have goals um, for the year. So I'll kind of tell you those whenever as I go through.
I have this one, which is Singing Sparrow from Sweet Wing Studio. This is
So,
one that I can remember my dad, like walking around and singing. He just liked
oh,
it.
yeah.
And I just love everything about this project. I need something behind it. There we go. So I stopped on the bird when I got that far because as I was reading, it told me that she calls for, and I didn't notice this when I got my supplies. Sorry, I'm trying to get a bag open. She calls for the wool version of Gentle Art's Garden Gate. So this is what I will be using in the body of the bird. It just has a little bit of um, fuzziness, I
Yeah,
guess, is
some texture.
a little bit
Yeah.
of lift, loft, whatever. And you can tell it is a single strand when you get this. Um, so it's just going to be a single strand that is a little wonkier than our floss.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and that's why I'm showing you this because I have a cool thing to go
Yeah,
in it.
that's
Um,
cool.
this one, because my sheet is here, I should just pull my glasses off and be done with it. In fact, I just will. So, Singing Sparrow, come on, just click. Got a total of 294 stitches this month. It's one that I used in our friend group challenge. So it will still be out this month and should get way more. You want me to show another one?
If you want to.
Okay. You're gonna have to tell me when you are ready to do the one that we're doing together.
Okay, why don't we do that one next after you show this one?
Okay. Okay, so the next one I worked on is a fishtail by Hands On Design. That's the box cover, and it actually has all these little things. So I pulled out, I keep moving this because my laptop is on a box. I'm going to just say, I'm sorry when it moves, and we're just going to go. I started with the smallest one,
Mhm.
and this one is a finish, and I have started on this one. So Fishtail was my first finish of the year. And this is the little one. It had a total of 616 stitches, and it accounts for 3% of my stitches for the month.
Oh, little
And then the
guy.
second one, I am really moving with it. The colors in these are so fun. Is
Oh,
this one, and I only worked on this one day, and it has 285 stitches in it. So I've got like another 300 or 400 to go on it.
all right.
So I would love to get back to it this month and
Mhm.
make it a finish for this next month. Because, I have to get all these things done. And I just thought, I'm just doing it. I've
Mhm.
already finished see if I can see it. I've already finished this band that
Yeah.
goes all the way around the side. I haven't done
Mhm.
the top, but I've got that part done. So
So cool.
that's a fun one. You know what? I may just throw these in my chair if I'm going to keep them out.
Great. I'm like, how am I gonna keep this all organized as we go?
Yeah. I'm going to show you one more before Keisha and I show together. So this one I just kept out because it was a Keisha project. And I really think I only worked on it one day during the month, but I put a lot of stitches in it because it was Keisha. And, I
I'm
just like
fun.
working on the Keisha stuff. Yes, I got 180 stitches in on this. It's Patchwork Deer from
Yes.
Heart in Hand. He's so cute. He made her
Love it.
happy.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I have a starting photo, but I can tell you how much I got done on this. When I started this guy, I had part of this side done,
Hmm.
and I went all the way up and around. So I'm finished with this color for now. I think it
Nice.
gets a tiny little bit more, but that gave me a good frame to start. I know that's an exciting one to see. And
I hate
yeah,
frame is important.
but it's nice because now what I get to do is start on the snow and the big swirl in there.
Yes.
And yeah, the other thing is I'll show you another project that is a Keisha project later on, and it's the one that I am currently gravitating toward because it's big and it's getting closer to its finish.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I like to see it every time.
So, but I like to do that Christmas stuff as long as I am enjoying it
Yeah,
because I only pull them out in December otherwise.
right, right. It's nice to just kind of ride the wave of liking it.
Okay, so our next one is Society Stitcher by the Black Needle Society,
Mhm.
and we have put in how many? Where are
So
we?
during January, we put in 775 stitches, but I now have 800 because, oh, here I'm flashing it at you. I have 800 because I did yesterday's stitches. I haven't done today's stitches yet.
I haven't done today's stitches yet either.
All right.
During January, you can show yours, that's fine.
Okay.
During January, this accounted for just under 4% of my stitching.
Oh, so let's see. I can figure mine out quickly. It accounted for almost 9% of my stitching. Uh, this is mine's on a piece of 32 count Enchanted Forest Lugana from Fibron or Forbidden Fiber Co. And I'm just kind of doing my own thing with the flosses. And
And
it's over
mine
one.
Mine is on a piece of 32 count soft orchid linen from Color and Cotton. And I did an overdyed floss conversion using the DMC colors that Katie had put up on it. So, but yours should count for more because yours is over one.
There we go. I get to multiply by two. I've actually done 1,500 stitches on
There you go. Well, I mean, percentage wise, yours was way more than mine. It should because,
it. Yeah.
you're working harder at it. The next one I have is my New Year New Start, which here's a stat for you. I did not get to until, come on, it's like not wanting to click at certain points here. I did not get to this until the 5th because
Mm.
we were finishing up our other ones and I was just taking my time. This is New Year in the Village by Alessandra Adelaide. So I'll show you a picture. And I am stitching on 32 count Skyfall linen from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. Beautiful. And I started right in the middle.
Nice.
And I
Creating the
have,
whole half circle.
yeah, it's just the funniest thing, right? And I did 211 stitches to get this started.
Mm.
If I would have thought about, there are a lot of people who do, like they would do 2025 stitches on every new start.
Mm. Yeah.
That would have been awesome, right? But also, I wouldn't get anything else done.
Right.
And then I'm trying to count how many things I have, Keisha.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
Go ahead and do one because I'm
Okay.
putting
I'll
stuff
do
together.
one. So the next thing I worked on, and we'll put a starting picture right there. The next thing I worked on, it's not the next thing I worked on. I worked on a whole bunch of stuff. That was just my transition. I worked on Summer and Stars Hollow by the Black Needle Society. Um, and I did a lot of the gazebo here. I did the men's vests down here. I did 294 stitches on this. This is one that I want to finish this year. So it's one of my annual goals. And as of right now, I have 7,292 left on it. So,
And I'm sorry, is your goal to finish this one?
yes, yes.
Okay.
I want to finish summer. I'm not going to finish the other seasons this year, but I'm going to try to finish summer. So,
It is solid stitching. So this is a
mhm.
full coverage piece.
Yeah. And you can see I have
Mhm.
autumn done next to it. I'm stitching this all in one piece. This is on a piece of 32 count, just white even weave, and I'm doing 2/2.
I love that one. It was fun. I did the model for it. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
it's crooked
It's
right
crooked
there.
in the back.
Um, Another one that I worked on this month is Frog Prints. This is for a friend, Jennifer, in our group. And we both started this together at camp this last year. I'm not going to put frog prints at the bottom. I'm
Mhm.
doing this on a piece of 32 count. I usually am doing really good remembering what this is. Once Upon a Blue Moon or Once in a Blue Moon,
Okay.
whichever way it is, from Fiberlicious because I found my stash when I was pulling things. And this is what I have done.
Ooh.
Now, it got called a couple of times because Jennifer's pretty prolific,
Hmm.
but also I just was trying to hit like certain goals within the pattern. So I did 728 total stitches on this
Nice.
month. So it is one that got maybe a few more. It's Keisha and I were talking about that it's just fun because we've definitely seen a difference in what kind of stitching we're putting in. And
Hmm.
also, I'm not going to do this for everything, but this is an 805 stitcher bag that she did for our nice list box. We had the fabric designed and look at the inside. We still have some for sale, Katie said. So if you need a frog bag, that is like the cutest frog.
Yeah, it's so fun. I have a model in it currently.
Yeah, we love this. So that was that one.
Great. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what I want to show next because I want to show the big exciting things later. Okay. Another one that I've been pulling out for challenge stitching, and I don't know that it will stay out this month or not, but it got called a few times, is I worked on Koala Santa from Mill Hill, and Laura can put in a picture of what it looked like at the beginning of the month. I did 242 stitches on him, so I added quite a bit. Um, and a pattern this small, the 242 really seems like a lot because I know that I added in like his boots and the one of the koalas and Um, it's been really fun. There's more left to it than I feel like there's left to it, but I kind of want to
A
keep it
lot of
out just to.
color changes too,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yes. I feel like I want to just keep them out and keep working on it. So it's not one that I've picked for the rotation for things that I'm working on for the group challenge, but maybe I'll just kind of work on them periodically anyway.
and you also do you want to talk about what you do when your name comes up?
Oh, okay. So we're supposed to pick a pattern for each person. Um, and then we stitch on it whenever they get called or whenever they have a finish. Well, whenever I get called, I have a wheel that I spin with a bunch of stuff on it. And sometimes, a lot of the time, it has the things that I really need to focus on during the month or one of my annual goals. Or sometimes it just has craziness on it. That's how I worked on Halloween wreath because I was like, I'll just put that on there. And
And it
I
was the
spun it.
first one, right?
Uh-huh. So, but like I finished something this past week, so I had to do 100 stitches on something for me. I spun the wheel and it's something that I need to work on to finish this month. So, but every once in a while there's just going to be something random that pops up. So maybe I'll add it to the wheel for me to keep
It's
working on
kind of
that.
fun, right? Okay, I'm going to show my other Keisha piece. So it's Plum Street Samplers, Blackberry House. I will not be doing the bunting up here because
Mhm.
I'm doing it on a bigger count than what they did.
Mhm.
They called for 40 count linen on this. This piece, just for a little perspective, is 167 wide by 244 high. Now mine will be not quite that, so mine will maybe be like 234 high.
Mhm.
And I have way more left to do than I think I do.
Yeah.
But I did 800, I just looked at it, 833 stitches, which accounted for almost 4% of my stitching.
Wow. Oh, I just love it.
And really, so my 800 stitches are
Mhm.
in these berries, which I had a little bit of them, I want to say, started, but filling the berries in and starting on this.
Mm.
I guess that one is finished. That's how much that one floss changes.
Wow.
But there's way more left to do than I think. There's another one of those stars at least down here. Maybe just one down here. And I
Mhm.
did chart out my year so that I can put it in.
Ooh, okay.
I am
So you're
ready.
serious about it.
Yeah, when I get a little further around, then I think I'll get brave and put it in.
That
But
means I need to finish a bunch of stuff this year so you can keep pulling it out, right?
yes, yeah. You got to make sure you finish the challenge every week so you have the chance for me to pull you out.
All right, okay. That one's been
But
tossed down.
really, I should probably only have done um I don't know, probably around 300 stitches on it, but I
Mm.
just like doubled, tripled, whatever, how
Just
many
kept
stitches
going.
I needed to do and kept working on it because I just really like it. I am going to turn around here while you pull your next one out and
Okay.
grab the cord because otherwise my laptop's going to die.
Okay, sounds good. I forgot to pull out the actual so I could show you what this looks like. So sorry, everyone. I need to get my act together, obviously. It's in this bag though, or it should be in this bag. If it's not in this bag, that's bad. Okay, I found it. So the next thing I worked on is swimming with scissors from Ink Circles. This was the pattern from a past BNS box because I'm working on one of those each month that I chose. And I would have Lara put in a picture of where I started, but I frogged all of what I had started. So this is essentially a new start.
Wow.
And of
You
course, my
did because you had to do, yeah.
yeah, I made a counting error at the very beginning of the month, and it was easier to rip out the 40 stitches that I had in as opposed to the 100 stitches that I put in afterwards. So this is on a piece of 32 count Naiad linen from Under the Sea Fabrics, and here's where I am. So I ended up doing 471 stitches on this guy this month.
Are you doing the called for flosses?
Yes, yes, these are all the called floors.
Wow, the color coming in.
They're really good. They're really good. And I'm excited about the fabric that I chose because I don't feel like you really see that a whole lot here.
No, I
So, yeah,
didn't have any idea.
yeah. So it's definitely the fabric choice that's like just really making those colors sing. So I'm really happy with it. And I liked doing this so well that it is on my list of things that I'm going to work on in February for the challenge that we're doing. So you'll see more of that this
Awesome. Okay, one that I decided just needed to be finished
month.
is Present Blessings by Hands On Designs. And I really didn't think I had that much left. And I ended up frogging a bunch because I put the wrong color in. But after 1,057 stitches and 5% of my January stitching, it was my second finish for the month.
Nice.
And I had all the information about it down below. It's a piece of Witchell linen for sure. It may be
Mhm.
water lily. I can't say that word because that's one that I always love the color on. But um, it had a lot of back stitching. Some of it I don't feel like you really can see. There's back stitching through those leaves the whole way, like a straight stitch on there.
Oh yeah.
And when I counted all of that stuff, I counted two passes equal one stitch. So if I
Mm.
did a long straight stitch, that was half of a stitch. But now you've heard about all three of my finishes. Did I
Mhm.
say that was 5%?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to maybe I'll show you my finish. And the thing that accounted for, oh man, I had it pulled up and then of course
So
I did not.
much.
It was a lot. It was 48% of my stitches this month. So um I did 4,132 stitches on This Is Fine. Uh, I'll have Lara put in a picture here to show you where I started. I had all of the black outlining done and just a couple of rows of white back behind there. But there, this was finished number two. There it is in all its glory. Um,
You
it
had
was
to put
really
in
fun.
a lot of fun colors in
Yes,
January.
yes. It was a fun one because there was a lot of fill, uh, and it was a kind of a relaxing one to work on. This is on 40 count, so it ends up being pretty small. I'm going to finish and frame it and give it to a friend. So, uh, but this was the big accomplishment. This was one of my big goals. Was I didn't finish it by the target date that I had, but that's okay. As this says, this is fine. This is fine. It's done. Uh, but I finished it in January, and I was pretty proud of that finish.
I was just noticing that if I add together my Jane Marshall and my model, that's 50% of my stitching for the month.
Yeah. So the other thing that I finished was a model, and between the model and that finish, that accounts for 60% of my stitching this month.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, the next one that I worked on was Christmas Parade from Cottage Garden Samplings. And I
yes,
can show you a picture of where I started with it. And this is where it is right now.
I
This
love
cute
it.
little needle minder was made by our friend Dusty, who did this for the Nice List box last year.
Mhm.
Love it. I don't know if there's still any of those in the vault or not. I have a little more to do to get up to the top, but
Mhm.
my goal with this is that these animals are fun and they go fast, and then
Mhm.
there's a lot of white. So
Yes.
I am going to go all the way up doing the white before I move on to the next animal. So I got to get
Yeah.
up to the top and I'll put in some of that top border before I get to move on to this little guy.
Fun.
So, and I love this. This is, I think, another piece. I would have to look. Yep. This this is another piece of Fiberlicious. Oh, this one is the once in a blue moon.
Mm.
So it's a pretty project though. I love it.
All right. The next thing that I worked on that got the second most number of stitches during the month and was a new start on the second is Canoe Ride from Mill Hill. Let's see if I can get it so it's not so glary. There it is. I did 954 stitches on it during January, and I did like 250 yesterday. So, but here it is. I got all the border around, started on the boat.
It
Um,
looks good.
thank you.
Is the
So,
bottom done now? Like the striping?
yes, yes, the bottom stripe, and there's a hole there because there's a fish button that goes there.
Fun.
So, yes, so the outside border and the bottom stripe is all done. I did that for a lot of challenge stitches because that went fast. So now my punishment is I have to do all the stuff in the middle, and I don't have any more easy.
That's so funny. Your punishment.
So, um, but I have to work on this more. I'm going to try to finish this by the end of the month. So it has a deadline for the person that I'm giving it to. I have, um, not including the stitching that I did yesterday, there's 4,375 stitches left on it. That doesn't include, there's a little bit of back stitching. And I'm just going to count every time I put a bead on, I'm going to count it as a stitch, even if it's like one that's attached with a half
Oh.
stitch. So, because it's a bead.
Well, that's two steps that you have to do, right?
Yeah.
So
So that's, you know, there's no cross stitch police. No one's telling me what to do
you're
here.
your own police,
That's
right?
right.
My next one is Christmas Etchings by Heart in Hand. This is one of my 9 starts in December. And when I
Mhm.
did start, I did this bottom border around and up here. And then I got this part, I guess, down here and the part up here. I didn't want to count over.
Mhm.
So I haven't done the tops on things. Oh, I'm lying. I did go up and oh, I'm on the wrong side. That's why. I did go up and do the top because I started the right. Anyway, I did 205 stitches this month and I was trying to fight with my needle minder there because it was attaching to the ring in the thing. And it is on the bell.
Nice.
So it's fun putting those waves of things in. This one is a paper pattern, so it's easy for me to work on at school while we're doing testing.
Hmm.
That's something that I need to do is have uh, no technology out while we're testing. So
Right.
I could during this testing, but I'm like, it's just easier to get to follow the same rule the whole time
Right.
through.
Right. For
Um,
sure.
one that I don't have with me because I didn't bring it home is my work project, which is Cinnamon Stars. And that one, in the month of January, I did 2,426 stitches on it. That accounts for about 12% of my stitching for the month.
Wow.
So that's my other big one.
Okay, I have two more left to go.
I have 2 more left to go, and the others are plans.
Okay, perfect.
I thought
Okay.
I counted and we were like
Yes.
on with that.
We're on it. Well, Laura was planning. I wasn't planning.
I was just kind of willy-nilly pulling, and then I counted partway through, and I'm like, oh, she's got about this many.
Good job. Uh, so I can just show my next. So the next one that I worked on is Flying Pink Piggy. So Laura will put a picture of what that looks like. It's from Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Lisa Victoria. And then here is a picture of where I started. I did 375 stitches on this month.
I
So
love this one so much.
here he is. I did a lot of this. I did some stitching over here. So it's kind of hard to tell 375 stitches on a Hade because, like, I do 100 stitches and it just like finishes part of that line.
Yeah. It's like 25 stitches on our society stitcher.
Right, right. You're not going to be able to tell too much unless you look at it over a long period of time. So this is another one of my annual goals. This is the year. This is the year. I'm going to finish it this year. I've said that for the past couple of years. Do you believe me this year? I don't know.
Well, you're
Uh,
using it for challenge stitching. So
yes.
what I like is that you get to pick it up more often and you get to do little chunks.
For sure. So this has 20,438 stitches left
Wow.
as of right now. So I have a
Wow.
plan, and I can kind of talk about that whenever we head into plans for the month, um, on how I'm going to get that accomplished. But anyway, there's that for
Awesome.
this for now.
Okay, one of the other ones that got called for challenge stitching is the 2017 Linen and Threads. This is
Mm.
Fox and Rabbit, if you don't know this, mystery sampler. And I didn't start mine until 2018, but still, this is one of my oldest whips, and I'm going to stop after November. So that's why I'm showing you this page. Um, I just like it with the straight border at the bottom.
hmm
Brendan does beautiful designing.
Yes.
And I'll just show you, I've shown this one recently. I did 185 stitches on this one for our challenge, which is this brown.
Mm.
And it's a long way across this row, so it was not even the full row.
Yeah.
This is 32 count Carol's Meadow linen by, see that door back there,
hmm
by Silk Weaver, who is now, I don't remember his name. He has an Etsy shop instead of being Silk Weaver,
Mm.
and it's his name. So I know you guys are out there screaming at me, but this is what it looks like, and I love this thing. I would love to have this finished this year. Um, it's way more. I'm stitching with one thread when I do, and they're Victorian motto threads. I did Floss of the Month with her for a long time. So I have a ton of these to choose from. And I started with that basic palette up at the top because I saw somebody do all different colors for the flowers at the top. And I thought, oh, I like that. And I chose colors that I liked and have just built from there. So I love pulling this out. It's one that calls to me every time I work on it, but it's also way more than I think it is.
Right.
You guys
Well,
know how that goes.
well, my last one is a preview of what I'm going to be working on in February because I actually worked on this on January 31st because it was one that got called. I am going to work on Lady Justice by Mirabilia. And uh, most of the reason, and we can put a picture of where I started up here. Most of the reason that this has been pulled out is because the piece that Lara did as her blessing sampler was on Olympia from Mystic Fibers, and I got jealous because this is on a 32 count piece from Mystic Fibers. And so here is where it is right now. I'm working on the big sash on her dress, and I added most of this light blue here. I did another a little over 100 stitches yesterday, but I did 121 stitches on this in the month of January.
It is great fabric, and I love her fabrics. Also, I can't think where she is, but she just recently opened a shop. So you can go
Ooh.
into her shop.
Oh, that sounds like a dangerous place.
I know that one of our friends is in Kentucky and is able to drive to it in a
Mm,
reasonable amount of time. So it's someplace close. I would have to look her up to figure it
yeah,
out,
right.
but which maybe I will do here in a minute. My last one that I worked on, oh, and I was gonna look. Oh, I did. I did a total of 680 stitches on this thing during the month of January. I had a very small start on it beforehand, like ridiculously small, teeny tiny. It's Spring Moon by Plum Street Samplers. I am going to be working on each of these this year. Winter Moon is on my list also. It just hasn't come up.
Hmm.
So, but I put in basically this whole thing because I really didn't have hardly anything on this.
Wow.
Maybe I did, maybe I already had the top, like this top band with the crosses all the way across there.
Hmm.
But now I've started filling in the used brick in between. And it's just, you
Yes.
get going on fill in like this and it's hard to stop too. So
Right, right, because you just want to finish it.
yeah, I love that. And this one is another one that's fun because I have it in a Sheba Designs bag.
Hmm.
And it is fabric from oh, why can't I think of it?
Tula
That's
pink.
terrible. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
It's Tula pink fabric, but I love that it's bunnies with moons
Yes,
because it was a
perfect.
bunny with a moon on every one. And this one has the coordinating hearts inside. But
Hmm.
I love this one. I love this one so much. The winter moon is beautiful. The spring moon is the one. It was originally designed for Fox and Rabbit for a retreat they did.
Hmm.
And I bought it from them and paid
Oh,
the shipping and everything else because, yeah, I just
yes.
did it.
All right.
So,
Do you want to talk totals? Total number of stitches?
sure.
So I did a total of 8,626 stitches during January, which is not typical for me. It's because we had the 24 hours of cross stitch in there. So that ends up being an average of about 278 stitches a day. Um, 200 stitches a day is good for me. So it's definitely like it's because of um, that day that we had. So.
And your high day?
My high day was definitely during 24 hours of cross stitch. It was on January 18th, and I got 1,053 stitches that day. And that's definitely not typical of me. Um, and my low day, I had 2 days where I only got 25 stitches, where the only thing I worked on was our 25/7. But I did stitch every day in January.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to run through all these because I have them here. So I already told you I started with about 150 whips. I've ended the month with 146. Um, I worked on 29 whips. My total number of stitches was 20,858. Because I have this spreadsheet, I was massively driven
Mhm.
to put in just a whole bunch of stitches. And the funny thing is, I was messaging Keisha and I was saying, I'm so close, I'm so close, I'm so close. And then I entered some totals and I thought, why did my total change? Well, it's because I had to add a couple of lines to add extra whips at the bottom of the list.
Mhm.
And I had not put the formula in. I actually did a few more stitches than that because I did not account for the stitches I put in on the two that I UFO'd, on one of the ones that I UFO'd.
Mhm.
Trying to see, I know I had, yeah, I did for Indigo Bunny, I did put the stitches in, but not for Rose Quaker. So a little more than that. I may be closer to maybe closer to 21,000. But my average per day then is 673 stitches, which is probably higher than normal, but I have a big model
Hmm.
and I'm trying to get um I started the month needing to do somewhere in the 300 range, 300 something stitches. And then I didn't stitch on it for a few days and I was up over 400 stitches. I started it on the 13th. I have 6 days that I did not work on it.
Mm.
So, but I worked on it hard the last couple of days and I have it down under 400 stitches a day that I need to do to finish by the deadline that we've kind of set for it.
Nice.
So it's not too bad. My high day was not during 24 hours. The same day that Keisha did her high, my high was 1,067, or my total that day was 1,067. So we were really close.
Wow, that's crazy.
You always think that I am super fast.
Hmm.
I will say that I sat in the chair.
Yeah. And I was doing a lot of fill in on This Is Fine.
It was funny. And on that day, I only worked on 4 projects that day.
Mm.
So, but my high day was actually on Sunday that weekend, and I did 1,350 stitches. And it's because I was trying to get in my stitches for the week for our
Mm.
challenge. And instead of pulling out something else, I just kept doubling and tripling how many I was doing on each of those projects. And so I got in a lot. I was being
Right.
lazy. And my low day was 201 stitches, and that was actually on the 14th. And I think I just didn't feel well. So I did Jane Marshall and I did Society Stitcher that day, and that was it.
Mm.
I don't think we went to, if that was a Friday, that may be when we went to dinner theater, but I don't know. Anyway, my average number of whips per day, I figured out, was 3.84, which really has me flummoxed because January 1st, I worked on 9 projects. And then I have several days at 4 projects, a few at 5, and I have one day, the day I did 1,350, I worked on 6 projects. I only have 2 days at 2 projects, and then I think I had fewer days at 3 than I did at 4. But for whatever
Hmm.
reason, it averages out when you divide it out to 3.84 projects per day.
Hmm. Yeah, I there were most days I worked on either 2 or 3 projects. And that's because I always worked on Society Stitcher. And then I usually have one that I take to work with me. And I would work on that, during that time. And then I would work on challenge stitching in the evening. So
Mhm.
usually I was doing about 2 or 3.
And also my totals are inflated because I'm getting to stitch at school.
Mm.
And my totals at school are, I mean, I was getting somewhere, I can tell where we started testing, and I'm getting somewhere between 200 and like 400 stitches a day at school because I get to stitch
Mhm.
while we're testing. And it
Right.
depends on what I'm doing. So that does affect my total. You'll see that change. Um, we do have more testing to go. So probably we'll finish in another week or two with this. And then my totals will go down because I will probably only do between 25 and 50 stitches a day at school.
Right.
So
Right.
it will be interesting to see there are fewer days, 3 fewer days in February. So, and I'm realizing that I wrote today's episode on next Sunday's date.
Oh, well, let's meet and do it all over again.
Do you want to talk some plans? Do you have some other plans?
Yeah, sure. So the ones that I have picked out this month to work on are Canoe Ride from Mill Hill, which is the one that I want to get done this month. I'll be working on Flying Pink Piggy some more. I'll be working on Summer in Stars Hollow. I'm keeping out Swimming with Scissors because it was so much fun. I'm working on my Mirabilia Lady Justice, which I'm really excited about. I didn't know I'd be so excited to have it back out.
Isn't
And
that
then,
funny that just seeing fabric would make you so
yeah,
excited to
yeah.
work on it?
I was just so jealous of you working on it, I guess. And then the one I'm starting from a BNS box this month is I'm going to work on Waffle Lot from Hands On Designs. And I got the DMC for it. I don't really know. I mean, looking at it, you're like, oh, there's probably not that many stitches in there. I bet there's more stitches than I think.
Well, you have to do the front,
Hmm.
the top, the bottom, and the side.
So the top and bottom are both 65 by 65 and the sides are 12 by 260. So
Yeah,
we
so
shall
there's
see.
more in there than you think.
Yeah, there's more than I think for sure. But you always think, oh, of course I can finish that this month. So we'll see
Um,
how it goes.
that's the one that I was thinking I would pull out. However, my bag has gone on walkabout,
Oh
so
no.
I may be like playing catch up later on.
Well,
My
you know what?
January one, I
You're
counted as Society Stitcher.
right. You're working on something that will be in a future box too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, one that I get to work on this coming week. I have, so the challenge that we're doing, we have to assign something to each stitcher. I've assigned at least 4 projects to each stitcher. And this one, I keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. So I'm going to pull it out and work on it. It is Simpler a Bouquet from Jardin Privé.
Oh.
This is where I'll be starting. And actually, I can show you this. That's where most of it is. I just did it to see how long this thing is.
Hmm.
And I am fairly close to finishing this first chart.
Hmm.
I ended up going back and buying this as a PDF, and which actually um I could probably then pull out and show you the photo of here because it'll make more sense. I could upload it, but one less that I have to upload is a good thing. Come on. My finger must be on it because it is like not wanting to do it. Um, if I can find it quickly, then I will show you here. I love when you're looking for things and it's just like, yeah, no, I don't know. So it's not going to come up for me, but it is 3 charts that they put together. And because I started the right, I believe I have the biggest of the 3 charts to do to finish off. And I said last year, oh, I'd like to finish that one. Um, I would like to finish that one this year. And then I don't think I ever even pulled it out
No.
last year. So that's very frustrating to me. Okay, here's the whole long thing. This is what it looks like all
Oh.
together.
Ooh.
And I love this. And I pulled some different flosses for it. I pulled a few over dies just to give it a little
Mhm.
change. Um, I'll have to look and see exactly what I pulled to even know what I'm doing with it, but
Right.
it's one that I really love. And this fabric was dyed especially for me.
Hmm.
It was dyed by Doug, and it is called Sunny Laura, and it's
Oh.
36 count. You can tell it's yellow
Hmm.
because I let them decide what color I should do this on, told them kind of what I was feeling, showed them the chart, and they decided that this was it. And this is what
Perfect.
it needed to be on. And so I just played and chose some different overdyed flosses to put on it. And yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just fabulous. I just love it.
Mhm.
So I need this person to really be prolific with some stitching because this needs to come out over and over and over. And I think after some of the snow, I was just ready
Right.
to pull something pretty and flowery. I love flowers. That's one of
Mhm.
my favorite motifs.
Right. You're just ready for springtime.
I am. I have another one to show. Do you have more to show?
No, I'm just here to watch you now.
Okay, sorry. Okay. One that I started last year with our friend Eunice is Rose's Village from Madame Chantilly.
So cute.
And I thought it's so, so cute that I feel like it's Valentine-ish
Hmm.
without being,
Right. Hearts.
yeah. And I am doing mine on 32 count Lagoon from Fiber on a Whim. And this is my start. So I don't have a ton started, but
Mhm.
I just really, it's so cute.
Yes.
And I was doing all of this green, and I thought, I'm going
Mhm.
to put in part of the house. Oh, I put the
Right.
windows in.
Yeah. That way you have some village representation in
Yeah.
there.
But also, that's why there's a needle minder on this so that I know which way this goes.
Perfect.
But this one, um, most of my things, I've only assigned one project to one person, but this one I really want to make progress this month. So I've assigned this to like 4 or 5 people.
Oh, all
And this
right.
is in an Evertotes bag because Evertotes is from Canada
Hmm.
and so is Eunice.
Yes. Perfect.
I know what my BNS project is this month.
Hmm.
It's not really technically from a box. And I will have to put you a picture of it in here. It's Jack's stamp collection. And I am stitching the model for it. It's already been published, so you get to see it. This
Hmm.
one is 32 count witchy pink. Oh, I can't tell you who that's by. It's listed on the pattern, but look at this fabric. Okay, we
Ooh.
got to get this where I'm not in the door. Is that fun?
Wow.
So this is what it's called for on. And then see if I can get these to kind of fan out and then I'll lay them up here. This is very similar to Santa's stamp collection.
Hmm.
I was silly with that. Why didn't I do it this way? That's okay. But this is one that Katie would like a model for, and I loved it and said, yes, 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 I will do this for you.
Right.
Yes. So there it is.
Ooh.
And I can kind of go like that and not dump everything. So it will be so much fun.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I mean, I want to stitch that one anyway, but that's making me want to go get it right now. But I have Christmas ears.
And just because of how this tag is, if you want to get this fabric, Katie got this from Kitten Stitcher.
Mm,
This is how she labels her things.
hmm.
What's fun is that she put this for the tag, and then she sent me a sticker.
Oh, fun.
I don't know that it's not the same one, but
No,
two
but
red stickers.
close. Yeah.
So I need to put that in my planner so that I use it somewhere fun. And then, so that'll be a February plan. And yes, then I'm not going to worry about finding anything else. I need to get
Mhm.
my models going, get them done. I should be finishing the one model within today's the second. It will be finished um hopefully by next weekend, but it can go a couple of days into the following week
Mm.
because that's where we've set the date. This one, because I'm silly, I put in a project bag that I made. Look at all the
Mm.
sparkle. But
Ooh,
it
very
has all
fun.
the owls on here.
Yes.
And then the inside is all these little ghosts.
Oh, I love it.
They're so fun.
That's so
So
cool.
yeah, I just thought, oh, that's perfect. And because it's all the pinks for Halloween, yeah, that
Hmm.
just made it even more fun. I don't know why I put
Yes.
the fabric back in the bag. And then one more that I actually needed to show you because I did a new start. And this will be, I did the blessing sampler and worked on one project every day for the month.
Hmm.
This I started yesterday. It's
Oh, yes.
seahorses, which is part of the Chesapeake Bay treasures. It's
Hmm.
number, what's it say? Number 5.
Yeah.
And if you buy the kit, then the kit comes with the fabric that she's hand dyed, plus um, the backing fabric to turn it into a little pillow. It
Hmm.
has a oh, it's stuck, it's stuck. It has a little charm in it, which last month I put on the corner of the pillow. Look at that seahorse. He's so cute, right?
It's so cute.
It comes with Silks for You floss. It's only 2 colors in this one. And oh, there went the back of my magnet. I did, I can tell you if I click. I started it last night, kind of late, and I did 134 stitches just to get started on this.
Nice.
And sorry, I'm like clicking back and forth and all the things. I made a pretty good start on him. So there's the bottom of the seahorse.
Yeah.
And there is a hole in there because it has some of the green that
Oh,
comes up
sure.
there. But this is an 18 count Ada that
Okay.
she does these on. Um, I'm not normally an Ada stitcher, but I'm
Mhm.
okay with this. This is fun and I'm having a
Nice.
good time with it. So I will every day work on this one. Um, maybe I'll say that I will every day work on that or the collector's heart that I showed you because this was my intended piece for the month.
Mm.
But those are kind of my plans. I know I'm a little all over and really we're going to be stitching whatever gets pulled for our group. So that
Yes.
will be fun. I don't think I assigned this to anybody.
Oh, all right. You'll have to pick someone.
Maybe I did. So maybe it's me. I
Maybe it's
did it,
you.
so anyway, that's where we are. What did you think of the stats? Was that fun to hear how we went through things?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know, like we said at the beginning, if you made it this far, thank you. But if there's anything that you want to know for next month, let us know and we can track more things.
Hmm.
We
It's
maybe
pretty
already
easy.
tracked it and just didn't tell you.
Yeah, it could be because we both have spreadsheets with all this stuff on it, and we're still figuring out how to manipulate everything. I made a list and read my list to Keisha and said, "Okay, what else did you add?"
Yeah.
And
I was
so
like,
I added some just talking to Keisha.
right, because I was like, well, I just keep these stats for fun.
But it's kind of fun to tell you, like what percentage of my stitching for the month did this account for, and
Right,
how did this affect it? Um, like this one probably will not start until I finish the current model.
right.
So that'll be interesting. Then maybe I'll have to say, how much stitching did model stitching account for?
Hmm. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'll
and I
have
could
two.
so I could tell you that for myself of the stitches that I did during January, model stitching accounted for 12.52% of my stitches.
Um, my model is bigger than the one that Keisha
Yes.
worked on.
Uh-huh.
And you know the
Definitely.
difference in our number of stitches. The model that I'm working on still, and I didn't start till the 13th, still accounted for 24% of my stitches for the month.
Wow.
So between it and Jane Marshall 1857, my blessing sampler, which was 26%, that's 50% of my stitches for the month.
Mhm. Yeah, and between the model and this is fine, that was 60% of my stitches for the month.
So you can tell, I mean, when we can channel ourselves and be focused,
Mhm.
we
We
do
can really get some things
well.
done.
And this has been fun. I feel like we talk stats and Katie goes, "Oh my gosh." And she would just like us to be done, but
Yeah, I
that's
don't know.
okay.
I'm very much a numbers person, so it's fun for me.
Hmm. And you just can't get me going because then definitely I am rambling way too much.
And we've given you a recap of the shenanigans.
So for today, there's nothing left to say except bye.
Bye. Have a good week.